So Kevin Smith will not let this He-Man situation end. He keeps clapping back at fans on Twitter who don't like He-Man, who don't like other Kevin Smith movies. He just can't help himself. Let's check it out. If you are also tired of people like Kevin Smith ruining pop culture, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the video. So like I said, Kevin Smith just will not let this situation die. He will not let this situation end. It seemed like for a while he kind of gave up on clapping back at fans. He kind of gave up on trying to promote He-Man because he probably realized that it's just not that good of a show, that fans just don't like the show. You can say whatever you want, talk about the audience score, all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, the market dictates your value. And if the audience that you're making this stuff for, the audience that you're making this show for, don't like the show and it gets to 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then they freeze the score and they bump it up 10% and say it got review bombed, if that happens, then your show's just not good, because at the end of the day, you're making this show for the audience. You can say whatever you want. You can say that it's good because of the critic score being certified fresh and all this stuff, but you're making this stuff for the audience. You're not making it for the critics. And if you're making it for the critics, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to be very successful in Hollywood for a long time. So this show is a failure. It is what it is. The show's a failure, and Kevin Smith knows that. So he kind of shut up a while on social media about it while he was filming Clerks 3. But now it seems like he might be taking a break from filming because he's clapping back at fans again. He's talking about the He-Man situation on social media again. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here it is. He tweeted out something yesterday, or I believe August 11th, so 2 days ago. He said, "Last night on Late Night Seth, we gave Seth Meyers a preview of Clerks 3 directly from our set. Watch it here," and all that stuff. He's just promoting an interview that he did with Seth Meyers. And then I believe this person is actually a subscriber of mine, so shout out to you. He responds to Kevin Smith and says, "One good thing comes from this movie. After it's done, Kevin Smith will be forgotten. This is all he has left. He has no actual talent. Watching him disappear from people's memories will be the best part of 2022. I kind of agree with this. Not the part that he has no actual talent, but I believe that Kevin Smith is a little bit overhyped because of his personality. People like him, people support his movies, and I was one of those people. Because he said that he's one of the fans, because he gave off this persona that he is one of us, I was one of those people that supported him, not because his movies were great, but because I liked Kevin Smith, the person. Now, his movies aren't bad. You know, some of them aren't bad, but they're not out of this world great. So that's I kind of agree with that part. But also what I really agree with is this: after it's done, Kevin Smith will be forgotten. I truly believe that. I truly believe that this is Kevin Smith's last ride. I don't think that he'll be doing much after Clerks 3, because Clerks 3 is going to fail, because he stabbed a lot of his true fans in the back with the He-Man situation, not only because of what he did with the show. It's not about that. It's not about simply because he killed off He-Man in the first episode and made it Teela's show. That's not the problem. What fans really took offense to is the fact that, for one, he lied about it for a year and a half leading up to the show, saying that this is going to be He-Man's show, it's not Teela's show, all of that stuff. And then after, he blames the fans, he blames all of the audience scores being review bombed and stuff for his bad show. He blames the fans, of course, the typical Hollywood excuses. He blames the fans for making a bad show that fans don't like. It's not the fans' fault that the fans don't like your show. It's not their fault. It's your fault because, like I said, you are making this show for the audience. You are making the show for the fans that you are blaming for not liking your show. It doesn't make any sense. So I think that after this movie, because his fans are gone, you know, I would say 50% of his fans are probably gone after the He-Man situation. So they're not going to be out there supporting Clerks 3 like they would have if that never happened. So I think that his career is over. I've made a couple videos saying that already. I think Kevin Smith's career is over, and I agree with this tweet in that sense, that not that he has no talent, but that his talent was a bit overblown, that his movies are a bit overblown for how good they are, and watching him disappear from people's memories will be the best part of 2022. I don't know if he'll disappear from people's memories, but I don't think that he'll be making too much more movies like Clerks 3. I don't know if he'll be able to get the funding unless he crowdfunds another movie, which, like I said, is going to be pretty tough because he's lost a lot of his true fans already. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you would go out and support a Clerks 3 movie. Let me know what you think about that. We also have him responding to that tweet and saying, "I've been anticipating being forgotten going on 27 years now. But if I can keep making media, good or bad, that's always proof of life. One can even become irrelevant, and I've been that for giant stretches, but so long as one keeps creating, you'll never truly disappear." So I know that he's trying to just be like very positive and very upbeat about the situation. Typical Kevin Smith, you know, he's always trying to be very positive, especially, you know, post all of his health problems that he's had. But he really is going to disappear after 2022, and it hurts me to say. You know, it hurts me to say because I said it earlier on in the video, but I was one of those Kevin Smith fans that really just enjoyed everything that he did simply because of Kevin Smith, the person. I don't enjoy his movies as much as I enjoyed just hearing him talk about movies. You know, I just liked Kevin Smith, the person, so I would support all of his films. But sadly to say, man, you're not right on this one, Kevin. You're going to become irrelevant after 2022 whenever your movie comes out. It is what it is. Now, you'll never truly disappear, like he says right here, because the guy has a lot of movies that have been created. You know, he has Funko Pops, he has action figures, stuff like that. Kevin Smith will never be completely forgotten because he has been very involved in Hollywood for like 30 years. So yeah, he's been making movies, he's been making content for like 30 years. He's never going to be completely forgotten. He's right on that. But when it comes to his career going forward, I think it's done for. I think it's done. And like I said, let me know in the comments if you will support anything in Kevin Smith's future, because I don't think I will. I don't think I can. You know, after getting stabbed in the back, not even a big He-Man fan. I don't even care about He-Man that much. It's simply because I feel betrayed by Kevin Smith, the person. I feel betrayed by the guy who said that he was one of us. He was one of the fans. That's why I will not be supporting Kevin Smith in the future. But then we also have articles being written like this. Why is Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe revelation so divisive among fans? And I don't think it's that divisive among fans. I really don't. If you look at the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, I know that you can claim review bombing all you want. That's just a cop-out excuse for making a bad show. But there's just not that big of a divide among fans. It is what it is. Most fans, I would say, you know, according to Rotten Tomatoes, after they froze the reviews and bumped it up 10%, around 70% of the fans just don't like Masters of the Universe Revelation. If you had a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes instead of a 30%, you wouldn't be asking the question, why is it so divisive among fans? You would just be saying, most of the people like the show. Well, it's 70% don't like the show, so it's just most of the people don't like the show. It's not that divisive if we're being real. I haven't talked to a single person outside of Twitter, outside of those Twitter weirdos who just love everything Kevin Smith does, even if it's absolutely horrible, even if he lies to their faces. Outside of those people, I haven't talked to anyone. I haven't had any interactions with anyone who absolutely loved this show. At the most positive thinking person that I've talked to, they feel indifferent about the show. But of course, this is always the excuse for the He-Man show, where they say, beginning as an advertisement for toys aimed at kids and masqueraded as a cartoon. It doesn't matter. You can still make a good show, even if it's for an advertisement for toys aimed at kids. And I wouldn't even say, Kevin Smith came out and said, you know, and I know he's lied a lot in the past, but he came out and said that this isn't a kid's show. This is actually for the kids who grew up with He-Man, and they wanted to have an adult version of He-Man. And I think, you know, he said that we're going to get a scene in the second part or in the second season or whatever that's going to be similar to the Invincible scene where he pushes his son through a train. I don't think that's aimed at kids too much and masqueraded as a cartoon. I think that's pretty adult. I would say that pretty much every episode in Invincible was extremely adult, but that's just me. He-Man seemed like a safe property in the hands of middle-aged king of the nerds, Kevin Smith. Former king of the nerds, I would say, because he's no longer king of the nerds. Yet surprising no one, the He-Man series that takes the time to focus on female character Teela has proven divisive among fans. Once again, while that is a problem, while He-Man taking a backseat to Teela, once again, you know, the male taking the backseat to the female, it is a problem, and it is really annoying that that's what they do every single time. It's not the problem. It's not the main problem that we really go after Kevin Smith for. The problem is that he lied about it. The problem is that they marketed this show like it was a He-Man show and pulled the bait and switch. I've said it a million times, but it's not simply the fact that the male took the backseat to the female. We've seen that so many times that it's kind of just expected now. But whenever we hear that maybe we might have a show where the male doesn't take the backseat to the female, we get a little bit excited, we tune into the show, and it's a bait and switch. That's why we're mad about the show. But let me know what you guys think about Kevin Smith clapping back at fans on Twitter. He still is not letting this He-Man situation go, even though he said that he moved on to Clerks 3, that he's no longer going to talk about this He-Man situation. He claimed that he's done with the situation, yet he's still clapping back at He-Man fans on Twitter. Let me know what you think about all of that stuff in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Also, we'll be doing a charity stream tonight for St. Jude at 8:30 Central Time. So if you ever wanted to leave a donation or a super chat or anything like that, come give it to us tonight. All of it will be going to St. Jude, or you can donate on the right side of the screen right now. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.